Okay, it shows that we're live on Zoom. Let's see. How's about the YouTubes? Yep, there we go. Morning, everyone. My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to, if you are seeing this now, you're watching live on New Light Streaming Love. Well, if you're watching on New Light Streaming Love, you are watching the live. If you are watching this on Sassy Seer Sheila, you are watching the recording because I'm going to be putting it up onto Sassy Seer Sheila later. I have recorded some more of Jason's work this morning, so that is forthcoming. That'll be out in the next hour or so, I guess. Well, actually, no, because I'll be here directly afterward, but before this evening, let's just put it that way. I am in the moment right now uploading yesterday's live that I did on Sassy Seer Sheila here on New Light Streaming Love. It got away from me yesterday and I did not upload. This is why I wish that I had the capability of streaming in both places, which I know, well, I don't know, but it would appear that StreamYard would do, but I would lose a whole bunch of other things that Zoom offers me, and I can't have both. So that's unfortunate. But at any rate, that is what it is. So today is Saturday, June the 21st, 2025. And oh my God, y'all. Okay, so the synchronicities just keep coming. And I have received several emails that would seem to indicate that they've been happening for many of you as well, in line with the Eek Acres video that I shared on my Facebook page yesterday, which, and part two, by the way, is listed there in the comments, but it'll come up right after you watch part one. It will offer you part two. At any rate, I can't. And then on top of that, having recorded, if you go back on the channel here and you'll see a recording about timeline collapse from someone named Mott 777777, that I had just done the day before I saw the Eek Acres. And I was guided yesterday. I could not unsee this. Yesterday, they're starting to run together, to record 1988 by Jason Gray. Now, there's a whole bunch of synchronicities in line for that as well, for me personally, in that what Jason says in that writing is more of the same about timelines collapsing and it being everything being different. That actually coincides with some of Lisa's own internal guidance in regards to being removed from one reality and being put into a pocket reality, if you will, an alternative. I really feel like everybody is getting the same information. Folks who are getting information are getting it in a way that they can understand. And then if they feel so led to share. And each of us will be, as we remember will get it in a way that makes sense, which I now see for me too is why I'm guided to record when I'm guided, because that 1988 that Jason wrote, I saw it more than a month ago and I knew I was to record it, but I also knew not now. Now, again, I don't know why these things are, right? My suspicions are that my psyche wasn't ready at that point, which means as a translator, as an amplifier, that would not be the time for me to record it and share it. That's for certain. So when one starts relaxing, oh my word, y'all, we had this one the other day. Arise. Wow. I haven't been using the Rumi deck of late. For this one to come out twice, very short, I'm not going to take that one for today. If you want to hear that one, go back. Wasn't yesterday, probably the day before. Resplendent with Grace is what came out. Actually, a couple came out here. The energy is so huge right now. It's actually, I keep labeling this area back here the communication superhighway on the human vessel. And for me personally, my own inner guidance has been that it is being widened. Everybody's communication superhighway is under construction for widening. So that's very interesting to me. So I'm being told now to go ahead with the first card that came out, which is Arise. And so the synchronicities just keep on coming. A lot of you that have just recently found the channel have shared that. And oh, I need to say this too. I put it somewhere. Maybe I need to do a new channel trailer. I have all comments held. So now they don't get held for lives, but when you comment during a live, immediately following the live, it generally doesn't show up for about 24 hours. And I have nothing to do with that. Those are automatically approved. Anything that's commented during a live. But if you're commenting on a recorded video, the reason you don't see it immediately is because I have them held. And the reason for that is that if I don't, and let's say I did a video last year and you just found me and you comment on it, if I don't have all comments held, I won't see that comment unless I go and look for it. There's all or nothing with YouTube, apparently. And so the only way I can be certain to see all comments is if I choose to have them held for approval. And so that's what because I want to see your comments. I'm asking you to interact with me. So, until it gets to the point where, which I doubt very seriously it ever will, but you just never know. If it got to the point where there's just too many comments to see, then I wouldn't be able to do that. But at the moment, I don't get that many comments. So, and of course, if you really want to get in touch with me, you can email me at consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com. So the surrender deck offered us surrender stubbornness. And I have been a stubborn person, let me just say. If you're tensing up, oh my God, didn't I just say that because I feel very tense right here. So this is a direct answer, isn't it? If you are tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. Well, that is true. Maybe I'm not communicating lovingly or gentle enough. Maybe that's partly why. But I feel it has a lot to do with this information superhighway thing right now. And the fact that we have undergone another huge shot from the sun as of yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think day before yesterday, but it's just now hitting Earth. And those tend to affect my body quite a bit. um, I usually have a pretty hefty headache behind all of that. So, my housemate just recently was missing coffee, right? Because she's not drinking coffee right now. And I had been guided at one point to purchase some dandelion root coffee alternative from Ticino. And one of the byproducts of this dandelion root, besides being a diuretic, was also to assist with lowering blood pressure. And so she tried my dandelion root and she really liked it. The Oakman came out. And so she also went online and found some other alternatives from Ticino. And so this, I'm so grateful that she found this. This is the dandelion caramel nut. I'm now going to try to get off coffee too. And I think this actually would go a long way for me towards that. Because it is quite delightful. Let me just say, so if you're into the idea, I'm not going to give coffee up completely. I don't know that I could ever do that. Not to mention, as long as it doesn't affect one's health, coffee does have some very good, reasons why one might want to drink it. There are polyphenols in it. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure there's been B at Quantum Tumbler has done an article about coffee and the fact that it is, not a bad thing. I mean, there's you can go on the internet and prove things one way or the other, by the way. I don't know if you're aware of that, but boy, that's been shown to me over the last 10 years, that's for sure. You can prove stuff one way or the other. Okay, wow, that one came right out. Water, lake, sun. How interesting this picture is. I said yesterday that I felt as though there was a lot of emotion in the field, and it showed up in one of the cards too, and that card wants to go first. So we're gonna take that card right now. Card 34, numerologically, that's a 7 for me. Oh, wow, that's another synchronicity. Last night, I was guided to suggest that we take a look at, we take a break from Star Wars after we watch The Empire Strikes Back and take a look at Doctor Who. And the episode, we watched 2 episodes, and I cannot unsee the timing. This is why it's a good example of when you feel drawn to something, go there. There's something for you there. At least this is the way it's been working out for me. Your individual mileage will absolutely vary. But it has shown itself to me over and over and over again that if I follow through with what I feel drawn to do, there's something for me there. And in the last few days, if you've been following along here on the channel with the Eek Acres, like I said before, then we had Jason's 1988, which again blew me away in the synchronicity department because I had just seen the Eek Acres and had just the day before that recorded the Mott 77777. And last night in the first Doctor Who, no, it was the second one, The Wish World, she was visiting the 7th son of the 7th son who was having his 7th son just born. And this card is a 7. I don't know. There's just so many synchronicities at this point for me that just keeping track of all of them and seeing where they're pointing is a lot of fun, first of all. And that's what I mean by the quest. For me, it's very much like a quest. What are we going to learn around this corner? And it's a lot of fun for me. Water, Lake, Sun. Let's see what this is here. It is on page 48, which is a 3 numerologically, which to me is also very interesting because that is the Trinity, which again feels divine in nature, right? You, my dear, have been doing your inner work. Bravo on your courage, your compassion, and your willingness to sit in silence and stillness with yourself. That's a huge, huge, huge thing, by the way, that I never actually did very much of until these last 6, 7 years, really. You have made great strides in your heart healing and your soul talk, as well as your spiritual development. There is a new light shining within you, a light that is powerful and magnetic, while still soft and humble. Cast this light upon others as a way of inviting new conversations. Oh my God! I love that. Oh, good morning, Vanessa. I've been watching your Jason Gray podcast. So good to catch you this morning. Oh, it's so lovely to see you as well, my dear. And I'm still waiting for you and me to have a conversation. So just know you're invited. I love that this is saying that. Cast this light upon others as a way of inviting new conversations, new meetings, and new relationships. That is so interesting to me that this come up. The simplicity of human interaction shared beneath the glow of this heart light, emanating from you now, promises profound connections and life-changing experiences for everyone in your sphere. By the way, I just finished recording 3 or 4, no, I think it's at least 4 of Jason's works this morning. before coming here and doing this. And wait till you hear them. Vanessa, you have to listen to those once I get them out. And I'm going to get them out just as soon as I'm done here. Because the synchronicities that are involved in this, for me, is just, it's so amazing. And oh my gosh. I can't hardly even with this, to be honest. And because it talks about human interaction in the ones that I've felt. And see, this is the cool thing for me. I'm not following anybody's timeline about when to record which works of Jason's. I know when I see them, based on the title, that I'm supposed to read it, record it, and share it. I will know in that moment if I'm to do it right now or if I'm to save it and do it later. And all of the ones that I've recorded yesterday and today are ones that I have had saved for quite some time. And as I go through and look at them, they light up for me what I'm supposed to record. And I say supposed to because I get a nudge. Today's the day that this one gets recorded. And the synchronicities that keep showing themselves, I'm telling you, it's just, they are fascinating, aren't they? And part of the reason for me is I keep being directed to beings who are remembering. And Jason calls it out very clearly. And we are all remembering things. We just may not realize that we're remembering. And some of the beings that are called to write and share are also remembering. And a lot of people say, well, I remembered this first, or I got this, and this is the right way. But see, the thing of it is, we are all perspectives on the one. It's all one story. It's all one thing told from a myriad of perspectives. We all just have to relax ourselves and realize that the whole point of all of this is not, I got the truth and you don't. No, that ain't how this works. We all have the truth. We have a window on it, and we have a way of telling it. And anyone who's drawn to me, their perspectives generally are very close to mine, and it helps them to hear me. That is all. But you get the same truth. The difference is when you hear me, maybe I got a piece of that you didn't, and you can understand, oh yeah, that resonates. We all get that, man, all of us. But not, and here's the thing though, we have been programmed and conditioned that there's only one answer. And so if this guy's wrong, then everything he's talking about's got to be wrong. No, 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 no. That ain't how it works, man. At least not for me. It may be a matter of perspective and the perception of the perspective in the moment that it's being shared. And what your own perspective is, and how your perception of your perspective is. I've referred to our vessels as reverse kaleidoscopes. Think about what a kaleidoscope is, right? You look into the eyepiece and there's a whole bunch of little pieces in the bottom and it forms one picture. These vessels are reverse kaleidoscopes. We are fractals of the one, the many, and we have access to a whole bunch of different parts and pieces of us that gets us information. So it's really, to me, it's really very fascinating. And I can't believe this book is just right open here to the page I need it to be. That's very interesting, all on its own. I get so jazzed and amazed. This is so energizing when things happen like this. Oh my goodness. Card number 47. This is an 11, so a master number, the Oakmen. And the key words here, the key phrases: strength, ancient wisdom, depth. I had an interesting lesson from the Oakmen about how we humans, oh my God, oh wow. I'm just now remembering what this card is all about too. Oh my. How we humans use fairies to mirror our own projections. The eyes of the Oakmen are a warm, light brown, but some people look at them and say, ooh, red eyes, scary. I tried a little experiment using digital magic. I made a copy of the Oakmen and gave them blue eyes. I then asked some people for their impressions of the men, and words like innocent and sweet and melancholy came back. Then I changed them to an unreal looking violet and got responses like, ooh, so spiritual, so wise. Had the Oakmen changed? Of course not. But what people projected onto them had. From their perspective and their perception of their perspective, they saw something different. They received it differently. And that's what we got going on here on the planet. And with each other. So people think because we're all speaking the same language that we understand each other. No, we don't. Not 100% because of what I'm speaking on here. Even in your own family, growing up with siblings, raised in the same household, it's all based on perspective, perceptions of that perspective, what was experienced, all of those things, man. At least that's the way it is for me. When we look at a fairy, we can simply project all our fears and insecurities and prejudices and delusions on them, or we can try to see them as they are. In a sense, all oracles are simply mirrors of the wisdom and confusion within the reader. But if we only look at them through our personal filters and projection, we learn very little. I got to tell you, just by my realization that we have this deal with perception, perspective and perception of the perspective, just my coming to that knowing has changed the way I interact with everyone. Because now I do not assume that I know what you mean when you speak to me. And I do not assume that you understand what I'm saying either. And that is why I've had so much trouble being understood in my lifetime. And I bet you most people feel the same way. Nobody understands me. Well, guess what? I think nobody understands anybody because we all have very unique perspectives and perceptions of those perspectives. Oh, we might get little glimpses of it, but until we soften our gaze and realize that what I'm saying here actually does apply across all spectrums of humanity, and we take that into account when we speak to each other, speak with each other, and we ask for clarity. Hey, I think I heard you say da 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 da, and put it in your own language. I cannot tell you how many times I have learned, oh, they did not understand me at all. And I did not understand them at all. Just recently, I heard Jordan Peterson speak about the connotation versus the denotation of words. This is a very real thing in psychology, and I had no idea until I heard psychologist Jordan Peterson talking about it. Perspective is so individual. It is, and it goes into everything you look at, read, speak on, conversate about. It permeates everything. It is only when we actually try to see beyond ourselves that we begin to use the oracle as a mirror of the cosmos and all of its wisdom. One member of the oracle group looked at them and wrote, "When I see this card, I lose all track of time. I feel deep grounding and peace, contentment. Everything is there if you just take the time to be a part of it. It is a deep homecoming for me. To me, the oak men show the deep wisdom of age, the inner peace and strength of the elders. This is what the oak men are about. Can you look at them and see them as they are? Or can you only see your own projections? We all, as humans, generally only see our own projections. That's what we're taught to do, honestly, in my view. The universe, like the Oakman, is full of wisdom and compassion and strength. It doesn't always come in pretty little packages. This card depicts the strength and wisdom of age. It also reminds us that what we need to know, what is truly there to be seen, cannot be discovered by a superficial glance, a hasty reaction, which is why I soften my gaze and why, if I really want to understand what someone's trying to convey to me, I will often say, okay, now this is what I heard you say. Is this what you meant? Because in my words, this is what I heard you say. And oftentimes I am not on the mark. In a reading, the Oakmen tell us to look slowly and deeply into the heart of the matter and to see past the superficialities of the surface. Consider the history of the situation in depth and learn from the past. Consult others with more experience than you have. Learn from the wisdom of the elders, both those available to you personally and those you encounter in books and elsewhere. In this matter, it would be wise to make your decisions after more pondering and study of the situation. Consider motivations in depth. Take action only after thorough deliberation. The Oakmen tell us that haste may be at this moment our worst enemy. They also suggest that we might learn a lot from trees. Consider the trees and their wisdom. Connect with a wise old one and ask for help. I was contacted yesterday by a brand new viewer to Sassy Seer Sheila, who happened to catch the reading from yesterday over there because I did the live over there yesterday. That's why I say if you're not subscribed in both places, I highly recommend, because I do lives over there, I do lives here. I try to make sure to get them uploaded to both places, but yesterday's live over there just should be live by now, but I did just uploaded it today. And the synchronicity with her was that the surrender card yesterday was surrender worry. And she told me that there's a tree where she lives that someone had put a handprint on and said, surrender worry. And it's to touch the tree, touch here and surrender worry. Isn't that lovely? Vanessa said, I'm sure this applies to many people. I think a lot of the time people basically understand me, but they don't necessarily like what I'm saying. I'm sure this applies to many people. Yes. And I do feel for me that there's a wide part of the reason in some ways, for me at least, that they don't like what I'm having to say is because of their perceptions of it as well. And honestly, I carry that frequency of transparency and wanting to get to the bottom of things. Great Oakman card. I'm going to go find a very old big tree. That's lovely, my love. Well, I'm telling you, the fact that this one has come here again, this card, it wasn't yesterday, but the last live before that, I believe, is the last time, and this card came out. Well, I believe it was the last time, because I didn't do a Rumi card yesterday. The very last time I did a Rumi card, this one came out. It is card number 13. The card is Arise. And there's a lot about the dark feminine in the field right now for me. I carry the dark feminine. My collaborative partner here on New Light Streaming Love, Crystal J. Hemphill, she too carries the dark feminine, and she is moving through a transmutation, transformation, transfiguration process right this very moment as she recovers from her spinal surgery, which I will say again, I want to hold a fundraising opportunity in some way. I want to support her because honestly, she may have to go through a second surgery. I've been made aware. She shared some x-rays with me, and it looks like there's been some sort of something happened. A screw doesn't look right in her neck. They got screws and rods and all of this in her neck, and something doesn't look quite right. And she can't work while all of this is going on, and nothing on these channels is monetized. There are ways that you can assist, and if you feel so led, anything that can be shared would be greatly appreciated. I'm happy to spend time with folks in exchange for love offerings and gifts for her. Reach out to me at Conscious Conversation Central. You want a reading, you want a BQH session, whatever we can do to help her would be much appreciated. Because I'm going to tell you, she's been a huge influence in where I am in these moments of now, as far as my own shadow work is concerned. She used to go by Journey into It. And she is, like I said, moving through a transmutation, a transfiguration. And she will be, I think I read yesterday something about the mother of mourning right now. You see, she carries that. Oh, thank you so much. Vanessa said, sending healing thoughts and blessings to your friend. Yes, she's absolutely a dear friend and has has helped me tremendously. Okay, so this card, the number 13 for me is a number of the dark feminine. A lot of people get confused when I say the dark feminine or dark period, because I never resonated with the light worker moniker. I always called myself a dark worker, and now I know why. But again, because of even the programming and conditioning that is in the New Age illusion, which Jason wrote about that too. uh, a lot of people think that's a bad thing, and it's not, in my view, anyway. So, wings of hope languish from lack of use. When wings dissipate and weaken, life begins to lose its value. Every cell in your body is created to rise to challenges. Every your no sorry your life is meant to confront everything that holds you captive. Don't sit at the bottom of the well not caring about salvation. Listen to the voice within calling to you. Reach for eminence beyond your own maturity. Rumi. I dance before you in sacred spectacle, hoping to garner your attention. Look at me, I cry, to your ailing spirit and despondent flesh. Look at me. If you were to look up, you would see that I am a mirror of your own being, your light, your heart, your spirit, your all. Yes, there is pain. Yes, there is a letting go taking place, and you are frightened and uncertain sometimes. But you make this mean something that it does not. It means that you are to turn your head away from what is dying. Do this gently but firmly. Turn your head towards what is living. Look at me. I will show you truth, and you shall laugh your deepest belly laughter with so much glee, sharing in my secret that the only force at work in your life is unconditionally loving divinity. You see, we've been programmed with this idea of what love is, and it doesn't include the dark, and it doesn't include evil, and it doesn't include, and it doesn't include, and it doesn't include. When in truth, unconditional love is all inclusive, bar none, in my view. I see in you a divine wild child and sacred heart. You have gumption, chutzpah, guts. You dare to love where others only see pain. You dare to believe that everything will somehow work out where others see only what they judge to be wrong. You see love where others ply fear. You seek freedom where the world still buys into manipulation and propaganda. Boy, that's a true statement, isn't it? Don't lose heart, beloved wild child. Dare to believe. You are right to do so. It is the divine rebel in you that refuses to surrender hope. Give up the fight, perhaps, the battle that comes from a place of fear, but never give up your hope. That hope in your heart, that optimism and patience for growth into love creates a light within you that helps the world to see through darkness. It becomes a candle that shimmers contentedly upon the windowsill of your heart temple. There it is, more obvious even in darkness. The stars do appear to shine brighter at night, beloved, but don't become consumed by your nightmares. They will pass with the coming dawn, you'll see. Don't give them too much stock. Instead, put your attention toward that defiant candle of hope that burns, as is its nature and purpose within you. Can you sense its warmth, even in the presence of cold fear? It shall warm you now, and if not, then I come to remind you, you are a blazing angel. You are filled with holy fire, and you shall prevail. Oh, the joy of you, the expanse of you. You fill my own heart with your magnificent essence. I see and know the great beloved in you. There the great beloved is, looking out at me from behind your eyes. I see the candlelight of your heart temple flicker within your gaze. That is what the candle of hope honors, the workings of the great beloved, so creative and crazed with love for you that all circumstances of your life, down to the tiniest detail, are evoked out of love. Love, out of passionate desire, takes you from despair into hope, from holding on to letting go, from turning away to opening up. So the great beloved takes you across the moonlit ocean into the temple of the cosmic heart. Here, an eternal flame burns bright with hope, igniting the light within all the hearts of all of humanity. You are being asked to trust, to gently lay to rest the suffering that has been, perhaps because of what you have labeled as failure, the doubt that losses, the losses and setbacks. I'm telling you, I have come to know that's true. I've said that many times on this channel. Things that I have labeled as failure, labeled as mistakes, labeled as wrong, something I did wrong, have turned out to be the exact thing I needed to do. I no longer do that to myself. It all serves. I don't think we make mistakes. We can label it whatever we want in the moment. Oh, you think you failed, but did you really? Because maybe what you're labeling as failure actually saved your ass from doing something that you have no business doing. I mean, time will tell, won't it? It sure has for me, I'll tell you that. They are so little in the greater scheme of you. Put them aside, allow them to rot and become fertilizer for life. But do not try to keep them alive beyond their earthly expiry date, lest you become tainted or poisoned by the rot. Let them go and instead focus on what is alive now. Can you sense that before you is a great being of light, a greater pathway opening up? This is truth, blazing angel. This is truth. Take the step. So easy is it when the light of the heart is felt within, reminding you of your own divine nature. The world is here for you to experience so that you may realize divinity in its majesty, mystery, and love, more so than ever. All serves that sacred purpose. So embrace it. Find your faith. Be at peace. Know that no matter what appears to be, all is well. You are so loved, it cannot even begin to be translated sufficiently into words, but it can be transmitted from my heart to yours, just as the sun catches dried tinder and sets it aflame. This oracle comes with a message for you. Arise. You have been downtrodden for long enough now. Perhaps you have been feeling defeated, put upon, underestimated, or walked over in mind, body, or spirit by others or your own doubts and fears. Enough now. You are liberated through the hope in your heart, the defiant optimism that buoys your spirit and demands that you shall have your dawn. You shall rise like the sun and begin anew now. Step up. It is your time. Wow, guys, what in the world? This has been one heck of a day for me. Well, actually, it's been a heck of a month, actually, to be honest with you. And it feels like it's going so fast. I can barely keep up with all the synchronicities and everything that keeps revealing itself and showing itself to me in such a quick way, right? I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that I just know it's always been shown to me that no matter if you were drawn here, there's something for you. Maybe you'll see it, maybe you don't. I don't know. But I always feel like if one allows oneself to go where they feel drawn, there will be something there for them. Until we meet again, my friends, I got to tell you, I'm going to put these writings out from Jason before I get started on some other things I got to do here at the house. And I highly recommend that you hear them today. And if you feel so led to like and share them around, and if you care to, would love to have you subscribed in both places, both here at New Light Streaming Love and over at Sassy Seer Sheila. Oh, thank you, Vanessa. Vanessa said, thank you, beautiful Sheila. Very helpful as always. Much love to you. Much love to you as well, Vanessa. And I do hope that at some point very soon, you'll be ready for our conversation. Don't worry, I won't put you on YouTube if you don't want to be on YouTube. We don't have to record, but I do feel like there's something we have for each other. So do reach out to me and let me know when you're ready. Okay, that's it for this one. Thanks, guys. I love you so much. Till we meet again, I hope you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. It is a matter of your perspective and your perception of your perspective. Mwah. Be well, my friends.